Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a new Cozy Mystery releases video for different cozy mysteries that are coming out in the month of July 2022. So I'm going to be going over 10 different mysteries today with you guys, giving you quick summaries of each one and their release dates and the facts that you need to know for each one. So let's go ahead and hop into our first book. So our first book is called Coached Red-Handed by Victoria Laurie. This book will be coming out on the 26th, and this is a Cat and Gilley life coach mystery book, and this is book 4 within the series. So the premise of this series and this book in particular is that our main character Kat is a life coach and like amateur sleuth, and her business partner slash best friend Gilley, he just got out of a rough marriage and they're going to take a 3-week long vacation in Italy, but before they can leave for their trip they are contacted by a wealthy matriarch of a family named Scarlett, and she wants help getting out of this like toxic like system that her family's in. Like they're basically just in this toxic cycle, and she's looking to cut off different children and grandchildren and just breaking out of the family cycle that she's in. However, before she can do this, she ends up dead. So Kat quickly suspects that, something is foul play here, that Scarlett didn't just die of natural causes, and she starts to go through the list of suspects. However, the list of suspects is a mile long because there's all the children and grandchildren she was about to cut out of her will, and keep in mind she's very, very wealthy. So there are a huge number of heirs that would benefit from Scarlett's death and preventing her from cutting them out of the will, and the more she goes into this mystery, she realizes it's like who didn't have something against Scarlett versus who has a motive to kill her. It's who didn't have a motive to kill her. So it sounds like a really gripping mystery. I haven't read anything from this series. Let me know if you have read this one or any of the other ones I'm talking about today. I personally love a mystery where there's like heirs involved. Like I just find that to be really interesting, like the family dynamics and all the sleazy relatives that come out of play when someone wealthy dies and there's all these like heirs and stuff. I always find that to be like an interesting mystery trope, so this one sounds pretty interesting to me. Our next book is called Death a Sketch by Cheryl Hollon. This book will also be coming out on July 26th, and this is part of the Paint and Shine mystery book series. It is book 3 within the series. So this series takes place in eastern Kentucky, and our main character's name is Miranda, and this is a really interesting premise. So essentially Miranda owns this business called Paint and Shine, and it's a tour company slash like activity company for like group retreats that takes place in the Appalachian Mountains. And this is really interesting. So she's actually hosting a group of like executives, like corporate employees basically, and they are like being pushed to be more like she likes to do like more team, like foster teamwork type activities like painting, sketching, hiking, more relaxing but like things that foster community among the different people on the retreat. However, the business that hired her is pushing her to make it a more competitive experience, so she ends up splitting the group into 2 teams. However, when she does this, the company announces that the team that wins is the only team that's going to keep their jobs, and the losers will lose their job, which obviously is very high stakes, very dramatic, very, very harsh, really. And unfortunately, as this retreat continues, one of the participants actually ends up dead. However, everyone keeps going despite someone dying because they want to keep their jobs. So Miranda is in the midst of these like this like craziness where the company that hired her and the executives are pushing her to keep this competition going, and she doesn't want to have this competition, and someone has died and the teams are continuing to go at it because they don't want to lose their jobs. So there's just all this craziness. This sounds really entertaining, and on top of that she's actually trying to save up to open her own distillery, because it sounds like alongside the tour she actually does share like moonshine as well, so it sounds like she brews that as well. So kind of a fun thing. I have not read a cozy mystery with this kind of premise, but I am absolutely intrigued. I'm really, really interested in this. Let me know if you have read this one. So we have another July 26th release. That's a popular date this month apparently, and it is called Murder Spills the Tea by Vicki Delaney. And this is the Tea by the Seas mystery series. It is book 3 within the series. So the premise for this book is that our main character Lily runs a tea room in Cape Cod, and against her better judgment she is allowed a famous like cooking culinary TV show to film in the tea room. Even though it's like her busiest time of year, she's closed the tea room down so that they can film their like panel for the TV series within her tea room. The main guy in charge of the show is named Tommy, and he's known to be like a bad boy chef and like just infamous for being like a very rude TV personality, unfortunately, and he's really been just butting heads with everyone, especially a lady named Cheryl. So unfortunately, after he butts head with Cheryl, he's actually found dead with Cheryl's rolling pin nearby, which obviously throws a lot of suspicion on her. But the more Lily looks into the mystery, there is a huge slew of people that would have wanted this man dead, between the filming crew who he treated badly, between this like cookbook specialist who has been like having a hard time with him, between like a beauty queen. I mean, there's just a whole list of people who wanted this man dead, basically. So she's on the case to try to clear Cheryl's name and to find out what actually happened to Tommy. And I think I love the cover for this, the puppy on front, perfect, and this is such a beautiful, like classic looking summer cozy mystery. I feel like it's perfect for summer. So yet another July 26th release, we have one by Katie Carlisle, and that is The Paper Caper, which is part of the Bibliophile mystery series, and this is book 6 within the series. So our main character in this is named Brooklyn, and she owns a bookshop and like restoration store. And she owns a bookshop and restoration shop, and she's been invited to restore a book in front of a live audience at this Mark Twain book festival, which she's super excited about. And this festival is a huge passion project of a local business mogul named Joseph Cabot, and he's a huge book fan. He considers himself to be Mark Twain's biggest fan, which is why he's putting on this festival. So him and his young wife actually have Brooklyn's husband, who's part of the police force, on them as part of the security detailing for the event, because he actually was a survivor of a kidnapping attempt previously. So in this particular book, he is going about his day, and he's actually offered a reward to a winner at the festival that they can switch places with him for a few days, which is kind of an interesting reward. I don't know how I feel about that, but do what you want. If it's for charity, it sounds like, so good for him. But he's going about his business, and the festival's going well, when Brooklyn actually witnesses someone dying from poison. So her and her husband are kind of on the case immediately after that, trying to figure out who poisoned the individual, what happened, and trying to save the book festival. I personally love the idea of a Mark Twain book festival, or just book festivals in general, so this one sounds really, really fun to me. And I have to say, this cover is probably my favorite out of the bunch today. I think it's just darling with the cat. The illustration style and everything is really fun. I think it's stunning. Absolutely stunning. And we have another new book from Lynn Cahoon, and that's called Caught Dead to Write, a Kat Latimer mystery, and this one will be coming out on July 14th. So Kat Latimer is an author who is famous for writing a Paranormal Academy series, and her and a bunch of other paranormal writers are on this like retreat event together, and it's being sponsored by a local college. However, a professor at the college doesn't think that Kat and the other authors are academic or good enough to be sponsored by the college, like they're kind of throwing a fuss about it. However, Kat and the other authors decide to go about their business and continue having fun on the retreat. It's their retreat, they're gonna have a good time, right? However, on the retreat, they end up finding that professor dressed as a zombie. However, the professor isn't just playing dead, they actually are dead. So Kat and the authors have to figure out what exactly happened to this professor and kind of throw suspicion off themselves, because it could be someone in that group. Maybe they were out for revenge because the professor was kind of throwing them under the bus, saying their work wasn't literary enough, which I think is such a dumb insult. I feel like a lot of classic, authors we think of as classics nowadays, during their times when they were published, might have actually been considered, trashy or not literary enough, work. So I find it just really ironic when people throw that term around. Anyways, point aside, so Kat is trying to solve the mystery and figure out, was it someone in the author group? Was there another person who took out this professor? What happened exactly? And this one, yet again, features a very cute cat on the cover. Our next book is actually a Christmas-themed book already, releasing in July, and that is called Peppermint Barked, a Spice Shop Mystery. This book will be coming out on July 19th, and it is by Leslie Budewitz. As always, all of the books I do talk about will be linked down below in the description as well if you want to pre-order any of them. So this is the 6th installment in the Spice Shop Mystery series, and our main character Pepper owns a spice shop as the name suggests, and this year for Christmas they are having a Dickensian themed Christmas festival in town, and she's very excited for it. You know, they're going to be dressing up and they're having a peppermint bark contest, and all these great things are happening around town for the holidays, which I love. I've actually been to a Charles Dickens themed festival and it was the coolest thing ever. I would love to go back. It was really fun. So nearby the spice shop, there is a wine shop owned by Pepper's friend Vinny, and inside the shop another woman works named Beth, and she's actually brutally assaulted in the shop, and they're not sure at first if the attack was meant for Beth, if it was meant for Vinny, if it was just against the shop in general. They're not sure what the motive for the attack was, because Pepper saw that morning that Beth had been arguing with a man in a top hat. However, there's also resentment against Vinny for different things in town. So basically Pepper is on this mission to figure out what exactly happened before another attack happens or something worse happens to one of her friends or another shop owner in town, and to just kind of save Christmas and, you know, take down the Scrooge who's basically messing up this Christmas season. So this one sounds like it's going to be a really fun holiday read. I haven't personally read anything from this series, but I think I'm going to add this one to my TBR because it does sound really cute. And yet again, there is an adorable dog on this, which if there's a dog or a cat, like, I'm just more likely to check it out. That's just facts right there, basically. If it's an animal or food, they're kind of tied. They're pretty close. So coming out on July 5th, we have a new book by Laura Bradford, and this is called A Perilous Pal, and it's part of the Friend for Hire mystery series, which just released its first book earlier this year, and this is the second book in the series. Again, a really cute dog on the cover. So this is a very interesting concept for a cozy mystery in my opinion. The main character's name is Emma, and she is a friend for hire. That is her business. So she's kind of like a life coach slash friend, like, motivator that you can hire. She's hired by a woman named Kim who's in a tough spot in life. She's recently just had a really brutal divorce, and she's also suffering from empty nesters syndrome. So she's just kind of like, you know, stagnant. She's having a hard time. She wants to hire a friend and just kind of get over this hump. So Emma suggests to Kim that she creates like a bucket list of things that excite her that she wants to do with her life. So they fill the list with all these fun things like baking classes and traveling and all, you know, all these great things that Kim is excited to do and they're going to start working on. And kind of as a joke, Kim also throws on a couple of items on the list that are like things to like get back at her ex-husband for. And of course these are, you know, humorous. They're not actually meant for anything. However, her ex-husband is shortly after found dead in one of the ways that Kim recorded it on her list. However, Emma knows there is no way that Kim actually took this like fictional exercise and went and took it out on her ex-husband. However, the deputy in the town is only looking at Kim. He's like zeroed in on her, and Emma's afraid that her friend will be railroaded for the crime essentially. So she is on the case trying to figure out what happened, who knew about this list and, you know, the things that Kim had on it, and is trying to frame Kim for the ex's murder, essentially. So this sounds really interesting. I really, really want to check this series out. It's like a very interesting concept. I feel like a life coach is an interesting cozy mystery profession, and I haven't read anything in that area yet, so I definitely want to check that out. And last but certainly not least, we have Murder Under a British Moon by Abigail Keam. And this is a historical fiction cozy mystery based in the 1930s with our main character, Mona Moon. It will be coming out on July 11th. So Mona Moon has traveled back to a certain part in England where her friend Robert Farley has his ancestral home, and she wants to make a really good impression on Robert's friends and servants and family. However, everything she does seems to just kind of blow up in her face. No one's really welcoming her for whatever reason, and the staff start to see ghosts while she's there, and they start quitting mysteriously, and the ghosts seem to be like sabotaging different repairs and things around the home. After a while of all the attitude from the servants and the family and like no one seeming to like her, she wants to return back to America. However, someone ends up dead in the home, so she is, you know, ordered like the other people to stay on site for like the police and stuff to, you know, do their detective work, and they don't want anyone leaving the premises, of course. However, she quickly deduces that the person who died, like it seems like someone else is also after her. So she asks her good friend Lady Alice to help her find the culprit before they get a hold of her own blood, basically. So this one sounds like a kind of a kooky, fun historical fiction mystery. I like the cover. I think it's very distinct. It has a very unique style to it, and I just had to include this because I like historical fiction cozy mysteries. I really enjoy. Let me know, do you guys like historical fiction cozies a lot? I know for me it's definitely like subgenre of cozies that I really enjoy personally. But let me know if you guys would enjoy seeing some videos dedicated to historical fiction cozies. And as always, if you guys have other requests or videos you want to see, let me know down below in the comments. Did any of these books sound really good to you? Are you fans of any of these series or authors? Leave me your recommendations down below. I'm always taking notes on what you guys recommend. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do upload new book content, especially in the mystery genre, every single week, and I don't want you to miss out. So hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Don't